Hello and welcome to 15 Minute Gamer. My name is Tony and this is a review slash revisit, I guess, of No Man's Sky. I am playing the PC version, so that's the version I'll be looking at. I originally played this on the PlayStation 4 back in the days, about 2 years ago, and I reviewed this. It was one of the first kind of reviews I did on my channel, actually, and hated it. This game was terrible. It didn't have anything that was promised. I'm not going to use the word promised because I don't blame Sean Murray totally. I think he just got really caught up in the hype train. And for those who don't know what happened, we're talking about 2 years ago. This guy, Sean Murray, I mean, he's almost infamous in the gaming world now. He came out of this game, No Man's Sky. The trailers looked amazing. And everything they asked him about the game, as in, does it have this? Does it have that? Can it do this? He just basically went, yeah. He just agreed to everything. And it didn't have any of that. It was like, the game that was released looked nothing like the trailers. Well, it kind of did. But you know, when you saw the trailers, it looked amazing. And the flora, the planets looked incredible. And it was like, yeah, you know, you might be able to see your friends, but the chances it's not going to happen because there's like 50 billion planets. And I'm not joking, there is about 50 billion life-size planets. Like, these things are huge, massive big planets with poles on them and animals and different biomes. And it's just, the software behind it is incredible, but it had nothing that he promised. And it got a little bit out of hand. Like, there was death threats. He had to go off Twitter and go into hiding almost. I think he did go into hiding. And all this over a game. And I was just... It wasn't that it's not a decent-ish game. It's just that I was disappointed that it didn't have anything that I was told was in it. And I put about 12, 14 hours into it. And then was like... Yeah, this is a grind fest. Like, you have to grind to get your materials to take off from planets. Like, every time you take off, it uses a certain type of fuel. You then need to have pulse to be able to go fast in space. You then need to have hyperdrive fuel to then hyperdrive around space, as in to go to different star systems. You need carbon for your mining laser. You need oxygen for your spacesuit. You need... The amount of resources you need on this game is just ridiculous. And there was no benefit to it in the original. And that's what made it worse. The whole point of a survival game for me is that you have a goal. If that is a goal not set by the game, sometimes a goal might be to survive. And you win, or you feel like you've won, when you've got a big base and you've done things. There's been survival games where the whole point is to get off a planet, or to get into the sea, or... This didn't have a point. And... I saw the ending of this game and was like, yeah, I'm not putting in hundreds of hours worth of effort to see that ending. It's just not happening. I don't have hundreds of hours to spend on a game for a terrible ending. YouTube it, you'll be amazed at what the ending was on this game. It's just ridiculous. And I think that put a lot of people off as well. So yes, as you maybe noticed, it didn't go down particularly well. It was slated by most people. I don't think there was many critics or magazines that even give it a high score. Like, I understand the what's the word? The scope of the game was impressive as hell, and I think that was the issue. I would rather have, and I've always said this, 50, 100, 20 well-designed, unique, amazing planets that are being put together, have been built, have had some thought put into it, rather than a zillion billion planets, which I'm only going to visit about 100 of them in my whole playtime. So will most people. And that was part of the problem. I think the scope was just too high. It has got some interesting mechanics. Like, you could scan planets and that planet would become yours. So you'd find it and it'd be like, Tony found this planet, or an animal. You could like find animals that no one else had found, and found plants and stuff. And I like that idea that everyone was in this one massive big universe. And if you found a new planet, that was your planet and you could claim it and you could name it. But none of that was in the game. it wasn't a way, because it wasn't multiplayer as such, none of that happened. And I think it's such a shame that it didn't quite live up to that potential that it could have done. Also, didn't originally have base building, and that's always a problem for me, because on survival games, the whole point you want is a base to come back to. You need that home, you need that sanctuary, that place you spent all that time grinding resources to make, and it didn't have that. It has now. It has now. And while we're talking about what it has now, let's talk about where the game is at. So, after 2 years, it's changed a lot. After about 6 months, maybe 6 months to a year, when Sean Murray just disappeared and they weren't doing any updates, nobody would answer questions, no one saw him in public, updates started to arrive slowly. So the base building came in, there's vehicles you could get now, because running around these planets was ridiculous. It used to take you hours to explore. And that said, the spaceship uses fuel every time it takes off, so that wasn't a good way to explore. Because the spaceship you can't land it. You have to initiate a landing. Like, you can't just land anywhere. And yeah, it couldn't go close to the floor originally or anything like that. And it was quite it just didn't sit right at all. So there was numerous updates, and a few months ago it was announced this No Man's Sky Next was coming out. So let's see what has changed. I'm going to read the official Steam page for this one. Oh, just before we look at the Steam page, I just stopped the video there to look at the Steam page, and then remembered the infantry space. So this was one thing the game didn't have originally. You had about 4 slots in your infantry, and you couldn't stack items as well. Oh my god, it was so annoying. What a terrible design choice for a survival game. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Anyway, I have Steam open now. So, this is the next update, as I said, so you can check it out. It is a free update. You don't have to pay for it. You can also check the trailer out online. So what they bring, so it brought multiplayer, so you can team up with friends to explore the universe together, or you can get a random traveler to join you. You can help friends, so you can jump in and out of their games. You can build shelters or complexes and colonies. You can fight, so you can go into space and fight as a wingman, etc., etc. You can race across weird alien terrains, creating race tracks and trails to share online, and you can do character customization as well. There's also a visual overhaul, so you can now do it on third person or first person, on foot and in ship. I didn't realize you could do it on ship. Planetary rings and improved space visuals, dramatically improved planetary terrain generation, ground textures, water and clouds. So you can now go underwater, which you never could before, and there's also significantly more details out of ships, NPCs and buildings. Bases can now be built anywhere, which you couldn't do before. Massive new parts of buildings as well, hundreds of new base parts, and you can own multiple bases like before. You can also get a command frigate, so you can assemble and upgrade a fleet of frigates and command them from the bridge of your freighter, send your fleet into the universe or deploy them to help you explore certain systems, improve fighter base building, allows a truly customized capital ship, invite your friends. And that is all. That's all the changes. That's a lot of changes. Like, it's almost a new game. And I don't say that lightly. It is almost a new game. And I think it's time to start talking about these changes. And were they worth it? Are they useful? And how have I found them? So I'm going to start off with multiplayer. I have no interest. It's not going to happen. As always, with my game time, it's quite limited. I'm so glad it's in there. And I think survival games are always that little bit better with friends. There's no denying that, because you got your friend to help out, and it's easier to get resources, easier to defend your base, etc., etc., etc. But for me, not really interested. So I can't comment on that. However, from what I've seen, it seems quite good, well placed. Matchmaking's quite easy, and you can do co-op. And for me, what more could you want if you're into that sort of thing? So we'll forget about multiplayer. So, the start of the game. The start of the game originally was a bit like, met you on a planet, here's a little tutorial, sort yourselves out, get on, get out there and just explore. The tutorial isn't still that good. It's a little bit meh. It's a little bit like, right, go here, do that, grind for half an hour, find the resources, grind some more. Oh, you can do something now, right? Build that. Right, what we need to do is grind again. Right, you've done that. Grind again. But saying that, because in this game is about grinding, and exploring. It does a quite good job because, like, right, okay, I need you to fly to a space station. Ooh, this is what space stations do. But I think it could have done with, it needs more like, right, okay, so you arrive in a space station. What is a space station? What does a space station do? Right, you're on a planet. Right, we're going to give you maybe a vehicle to drive around in to practice how driving works. So, here's how you drive your ship. Drive through these hoops. I would prefer to see a little bit more. But what I do love about the beginning of this game is you're just on an alien planet. You're in a radioactive, toxic environment. You've got to like get the resources to save yourself and then get your spaceship off the ground. And you can do that if you find a crashed spaceship on a planet. You can explore it and just go, meh, I want that spaceship, and then get it back up. It might take you a lot of grind to do it, but you can do that. And when you build a base and colonize a planet or whatever you do, you can have a portal. Yeah, you need to get the materials for it to then go, and you can put that beside your base and travel back to your base anytime you want from anywhere in the universe. And that is pretty cool. I really like that feature because it's such a big place. But again, as I said, it's always important to have that bit of the home place to go to. So the upgraded visuals. Yes. They look amazing now. So good. Especially out in space now. Space used to be quite bland, but now there's these big rings around planets and it just looks incredible. Looks amazing. The ground textures look good. The animals, because the animals look pretty rubbish, have all been upgraded and look really good now. I've seen a lot of cool little stuff to find. The plant life looks good. The flora looks good. The coloration of the planets is amazing as well. The explosions are up there as well. Everything just massive overhaul. So as you can tell by the amount of times I say good in it, it's all good. It's all good. This game just looks good now. It doesn't look fabulous. Like I've seen better graphics. However, yeah, really, really good. So the third person, I like the third person. I think that really adds to the immersion of the game. I feel more involved with the game. And I like it. I like that a lot. Sound design. I don't think the sound's been improved, but the music is amazing. It always has been. That's one thing this game had going for it. The music sounds good. Being in space, it all sounds, I keep saying good. It's just been made from a poor game that was really under-delivered into a very, very good game. And I congratulate them. Well, I haven't had a chance to get to the freight as yet. However, that sounds awesome. I have built a little base. It's very small. I think it's about one room, like 4 tiles across. I've built a base just to kind of see what it was like. And base building was a little bit difficult in parts. I found it didn't quite work as well as I thought it was going to do. And I misplaced a block and put it about a mile away from where I wanted it to go to. I didn't know how to pick it up. There was no explanation of it. Again, I would like to see a bit more tutorial work, or to give you the resources to maybe have a bit of a play, because you had to get all the resources, and it took a while to get the carbon to build the stuff. So I would like to see maybe a couple of changes on the base building. But again, it's really cool to think you can have a massive big base. I don't think there's any danger. I don't think your base is going to get attacked. I don't think there's anything like defense turrets or anything like that. From what I've seen, it's more just somewhere to live. You have a terrain tool which you can take terrain out. So copper. Oh, get copper. Copper's worth a fortune. Get copper. You can get salt deposits. I presume there's other sort of deposits out there. But you can use your mining laser to sort of go in the ground and do that, or terrain one. Or you've got your mining laser which you can use to get carbon, dust, stuff, and little bits like that from the plants and stuff. And that, again, as a grind, that all needs recharging as well as you go through. There's not like an axe you can use to take it down. You also have like a visual scanner where you can scan new things, and if you find it, it's the first time you've scanned something, it'll show you where things are on the map. And then you get a visor, like I just put there by mistake. And what that does is it allows you to see points of interest, basically POIs around the map, and you can then tag them using the visor and then go and visit them, because that's it. These plants are proper life size. One thing you do have to be careful on plants, some of the wildlife isn't friendly, and you have these things called sentinels that if you start digging up the terrain or shooting plants, if they see you, they'll scan you, and if you keep doing it, they'll basically come and sort you out. And they're little buggers. They can be a little bit annoying, especially when you've travelled miles and one just will not leave you alone. You can see all the stuff on the map there, so it'll show you like where oxygen is, where this is, and you need all these different resources to build. Infantry space has definitely been increased as well, and you can now stack items. So what you can do is you can move items from, say, your suit to your spaceship, and you can upgrade all these. You can upgrade loads of different things. You have build menus where you can build a refinery, you can build signal boosters, you can build certain things, and when you see built, it'll stay in your infantry. So you can then see what, you can use the refinery to refine carbon into something else, to do this, and then you need it for certain parts. So the one I've just done, you need some antimatter, so I had to get loads of carbon or copper, then change that to copper something else, and then something else, and then something else. And that's what it is. It's that constant grind, but it feels like it has a purpose now where it didn't before. So should you go and get this game? Yeah. If you don't have it, go and get it. It's on special at the moment. It's about 50% off on all platforms. If you own it and you were like me, and now you're wondering to get back into it, yeah, get back into it if you like survival games. And there's not much I can say. I think it's definitely worth getting now. There's no comments about it. I've really enjoyed playing it. I've put about 3 hours into it. I'm still in the tutorial as far as I know. Cause I've just crafted some antimatter and now need to do some more traveling. But yeah, no, it's definitely worth a buy, I guess now, definitely, compared to what it was before. And congratulations to Sean Murray and the team for making a much better game. There's now some sort of mission structure as well. Like the tutorial does get you to go different buildings and show you, and you gotta learn languages as well. Like when you talk to aliens, you can't understand them, obviously, because you're not an alien. Well, we don't know if you're an alien because you can't see your face. But yeah, so you can learn words. So you'll learn the words of their language, and then you can start putting things together. So you'll be able to see if they're saying things like give or take or sell. And so you have to learn the language of these aliens as well. And there's like cool little things to see, distress beacons to find things underground to find. So you'll find hidden things. So go underground, see there's caves to explore and everything. So yeah, as a survival game, it's really, really good. Sci-fi survival game. I would really recommend it. So yeah, go out and get it. And thank you for watching the video, and I'll catch you all later. Goodbye.